Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to your daily read. I am your reader, Mark Angela Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very, very happy to be reading for you. This morning, just woke up a little while ago, did my Wim Hof breathing. I'm doing that before coffee. I haven't had coffee yet. Interesting new life that I'm in here. Not just because of what's going on planet Earth, but because I've really been using this time to evolve and to change and to heal. It's been quite phenomenal. Not easy by any stretch, but let's say unusual. But because of that, I've had some unusual healing. Healing other than usual. Just to clarify our astrology for the day, yeah, Saturn went retrograde at 12:09 a.m. Eastern time. By the way, because give credit where credit is due, Mark, Witch's calendar, Llewellyn Witch's calendar, really such a staple in my life. And interesting today, Mercury also enters Gemini, which is obviously its ruling deal, but the moon is still in Capricorn. So just saying, today might be a little slow. Do your research if you're into the astrology thing, into what Saturn retrograde means. Retrogrades, so many different opinions about it. It would just make sense. The planet of karma, the planet of time, going backwards, that there would be a little bit of a karmic redo for some stuff going on. But my take on karma seems to be radically different from what most people in the West think it is. I guess that's because a lot of my Eastern training with stuff, that karma means action, right? So it's about your thoughts or actions, right? But it's not a punishment reward system. That's a very Western thing. In the East, it's not so much a punishment reward system. That tends to be a slightly, I don't want to say childish, let's say spiritually immature way of looking at it. It's the way the ego reads it, where the soul is like, oh, good, an opportunity to do this again. So it's all about your perspective, I suppose. The way I'm taking it is that I'm very good at mothering myself. I'm learning how to father myself, right? Well, we know what mothering ourselves means. Hope you had a lovely Mother's Day, by the way. I did. I got to talk with my mom on House Party. It was her idea, the app House Party. I'm like, how does my mom know what a house party is? She does. Hera, love her. But what does it mean to father myself? Well, I'm learning. I'm setting new boundaries for myself. I'm disciplining myself, but not in that like spank you, make you sit in the corner kind of discipline. It's an interesting journey to take, and this is going on until September 29th, so we've got some time. Big message seems to be slow your roll. Slow your roll. Just slow down. Just slow down. We're slowed down anyway, right? This happens every year, so how much do we want to set our hair on fire over something that we can't change is going to happen anyway? So the two decks that I'm working with, Daughters of the Moon Tarot, which is my favorite. It's just easier. I have the Mythic Tarot. Eventually I'll get around to reading that, but I feel like she's more gentle. And the Love Pack by Chuck Spezzano, which sounds good, but half of the deck, well, there are 4 suits, you see. So the half of the deck is the suit of the problem, what I call the womp cards, if you're not familiar with my readings. Oh, and if you are new to my channel, please do like the vid, subscribe. When you like and subscribe, other people get to see it. It's just how it works. And if you want the notifications, hit that notification bell, because I'm going to be slowing down. It doesn't mean I'm going to be putting out less necessarily, but these daily reads may go out at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11, 11:30, 12, 1, right? Because I'm going to take it as it comes, right? So at least this way you'll know when they're coming down the pike. And by all means, if anything really resonates to you or is helpful to you, feel free to comment in the comment section. But like I said, half this deck is the problem, but it's good to know. It's good to know, particularly with all the Saturn. Well, particularly today with the moon in Capricorn. Let's get that out of the way. Knowing what the problem is. But the other deck, the rest of the deck, is the suits of luck, which are lovely, healing, and grace. So you essentially got a 50-50 shot here as we go Aries through Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. All right, so let's do this. We're going to pull one of these first and one of these for each signs. 24 cards total. Look, I did math. Already it's a good day. Breathe. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Back in the saddle again. Already blessed the cards, already said the prayers. Let's do this. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for this Monday, May 11th, right? It is the 11th. Double check. It's a good thing to do. Saturn retrograde, first day. Please, what is their Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the voice of the goddess, for them? Ooh, analysis, the Two of Blades. I know a lot of people want to call this indecision, but I always see it as the Two of Flames or the Two of Wands. Here we've got analysis. Two fencers, right? Sword play. And there's a lot of analysis that goes into it. It is a very mental game because there's only a certain amount of moves, right? Like chess, right? In a way, a bit more active, obviously. So you're not just thinking about your next move, you're thinking about your partner's next move, your opponent, I guess you should say. And then what you're going to do to counter that, and then what they're going to do to counter that. So it's a lot of thinking. Let's see what you're thinking about, shall we? Let's see what that analysis might be about. Breathe. My Ascended Masters, you know, every deck I use, I essentially assign or bless or allow the voice of a particular pantheon of mine to work through. You know, got like 10 or 11 pantheons, but I don't read 10 or 11 decks. So, my Ascended Masters, there you are. Please, one card in clarity for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. No, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs today. This May 11th, 2020. Play. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. Oh, we got the card to play. That's so lovely. It's one of the luck suit, right? So, oh, how nice. So you get to play in analysis. So don't take it all so terribly seriously today. I know we're just talking about Saturn and Capricorn and stuff like that. But in terms of the mind, right, if you're going to analyze, all right, this is the clairvoyant, clairaudient part. Think of it as playing the game of life. Well, how do I want to play this? How do I want to play this? Like fencing. I mean, look, fencing is not a death sport. Right? You're not trying to kill each other. You're trying to play the game. You're trying to win. So how do you win the game? You play, right? And so what if you don't win this round? There's always tomorrow. It's like actors. No one's a great actor day one, right? The more they do it, the better they get. So just give it your best, but play the game. Lovely. That's really good for a Monday. Capricorn Monday, Saturn ret. Saturn ret, darling. Sounds lovely. Not at all. Taurus, breathe. I'm pretty sure that British accent is one of my ancestors. I just don't know which one. Please, my goddesses, one card in clarity for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What you got for them, my goddesses? Yes, Persephone is the goddess that sits in the throne of Capricorn for me, so I could just call her by name. Captain Persephone, what do you got for them, the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this Monday, May 11th? Ma'at, the card of justice. Okay, all right, so let's talk about karma briefly here. About balancing the scales in particular. Are you living up to your highest truth and your highest wisdom? Is your conduct, what you're doing and saying, in alignment with what you really believe and know to be the truth? What's your honor code doing today, right? That's the take I'm taking on that. Sure, it can be about balance in all sorts of different ways, but Ma'at weighs the heart against the feather upon the crossing over to see if you got to come back or not, or move on, or have your soul eaten by a demon, depending on which translation of the Egyptian Book of the Dead you want. I obviously go for the maybe come back again, because the soul is immortal, just saying. Let's ask the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Baby Love Pack. Love, baby, that's where it's at. Please, my Ascended Masters, one card in clarity for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What do they got today? Ooh, we got 2 luck cards in a row. Looky, looky, looky. You should be so lucky, 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 lucky. You should be so lucky in love. I should have done that Australian. That was Kylie Minogue, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. So romance. You got the romance with the the card of justice. So maybe you're getting some justice in romance. Maybe there is some karmic return coming to you today, or maybe it's an opportunity for you to bring your romantic life into balance. Now, what does that mean? Are you giving out more than you're taking in? Are you giving more love to others than to yourself in terms of romance? What does it mean to romance oneself? Well, I will tell you, it is true, although it's become a bit of a cliche. You gotta love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love anybody else? Gonna get an amen? Amen. Yeah. Treat yourself kindly today. Bring that into balance. And certainly, if it's the other way around, where you've been on the receiving end of a lot of the attention and the affection, you might want to balance that out a little bit. And is it equitable? I guess that's really what I'm looking at. Is it equitable? Is it honorable? Can you bring that into balance today, which might make it a very bumpy day? If it's not, like, how do you balance that? Let's look at the Geminis, shall we? Like, as I said, Mercury goes into Gemini today. Again, Mercury changes signs pretty much once a month. So, you know, it's not nothing to set your hair on fire about. But, you know, if you're a Gemini, watch your mouth, just saying, because of this Saturn stuff going on. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What you got for them, please, this Monday, May 11th. No, that's two. Please, just one for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Monday, May 11th. Oh, you got the Gemini card. I knew they wanted me to get the right one. They always want me to get the right one. But look, you've got your sign today. So there's really considering Mercury's in Gemini. Did it go in yet? Let me just check. No, 5:58 p.m. Eastern. So figure tonight. So be yourself today, right? I would say that. Be yourself, but do make sure that the twins are being cooperative with each other, right? That, you know, that left twin, like the left Twix and right Twix, that the left twin and the right twin, that's something maybe similar to what the Taurus is going through, that things are in balance, that you are being fair, that you are speaking truth. Let's find out, though. My Ascended Masters, please, one card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs today. What you got for them? Oh, you looked at me with lust. You looked at me with lust, the lust card. Now look, Gemini, third house, self-expression. Be careful how you express your lust today, because lust isn't just all about bodies, right? Well, deadly sin, now called entitlement, at least through Carolyn Mace Defy Gravity, great book. It can be for anything. It can be for money. A little bit different than greed. It can really be like, well, I deserve this. I deserve it. I want it. I want to deserve it, right? Just be really, really careful. It's not that you're not allowed to want what you want. In fact, fan the flames of your desires, but make sure you're doing it honorably and equitably, and that if you're going to express yourself about it, you know there's a way to do it. We are in a very different era now than we have ever been, right? So you can say, you know what, I really, really want that. I'm feeling that. There's such a good way to feel desire that is juicy, that is electric, boogie, right? And that can really light you up in a way. But, you know, don't be leaky and creepy about it, because you know what that's like when someone's leaky with their energy that way. Like, it's like, no. But you're Geminis, right? So think about it. You're going to anyway. Think about it before it comes out of your mouth. Chew. There's spit, there's swallow, there's chew. Sexual. But, you know, are you going to spit it out? Are you going to swallow it, which would mean to repress it? Or can you chew on it? Can you chew on it? And it's like, because sometimes it's the savoring of the desire. So lust is a tricky card. And I understand a lot of us are sequestered in our own domains. So just be careful with that things don't get overridden, that the vibe doesn't take over in a way that you do something you regret. Again, Capricorn moon, Monday, Saturn retrograde. Just keeping that in context. Let's find out what's going on for the Cancerians. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What have you got for them, my goddesses, please? Hanged Man. In this deck, reversal, right? Usually a sacrifice of some kind, but often a sacrifice of a point of view. You know, not so much having to off something, but more in terms of, let me see this differently. Let me try and see it from somebody else's point of view. Let me let go of a pattern. There's something so mental about this card in general for me, but because you are a water sign, maybe it's about looking at your own emotional reaction so that you can rather have an emotional response. And there's a big difference between a reaction. Everybody's going to have a reaction. Forgive your reactions. They're automatic. They just happen. The ego speaks first and loudest, and the ego needs more love, not less, but that doesn't mean he gets to drive the car, so to speak. So let your soul come from the response. Let's see what that's about. Please, my Ascended Masters, one card in clarity. No, please, one card in clarity for the Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, my masters. What you got for them? No, just one, please. One card for the Cancerians. There we go. Ooh, 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 excellent. Enjoyment. That maybe this is a day that ordinarily you wouldn't enjoy, right? It's a Monday, or all this astrology going on. But, you know, it's like, let me see this differently today. Let me go with the flow. Let me relax. Let me slow down, right? Instead of being a productive Monday, productive Monday, productive Monday. Now, look, if you're in essential services, you know what I'm talking about. Enjoy it. I mean, I would love for people to enjoy their day today, but that some of it just doesn't feel appropriate with so much suffering going on, right? But maybe that's the thing. Maybe be like, but you know what? I can enjoy it inside. Cancerians, right? It's like I can give my love today. I can feel like I can be a superhero today. Oh, see, that's what I mean about, can you see it differently if you are in essential services, and if you are at home, you can really slow down and say, you know what, today's a vacation day. I'm going to take a mental health Monday and an emotional health Monday. Slow down. Let's look at the Leos, because they love being looked at, and I am Leo rising, so now these next three cards will involve me. Leo rising, Virgo sun sign, Venus and Libra, and then I got that lovely stretch until the Pisces moon. But I do these card draws for myself, like, what's my card of the day, right? My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Leo collective. Sun, hear you, rising, Venus sign. What's the card of the day? What is the card of the day for the Leo collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, fifth house pleasure seekers that they are. And we've got Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess, the Six of Flames, oh, on the nose. Thank you for 70. Right? Oh, look at her. The card of play. Oh, very, very good. Now, look, if you get to play today, do it. But remember, sort of like that Aries card, it's like play the game. They got the play card, literally, the luck card of play. So if you got any Aries in you, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, it could be a very playful day. But also, 6 is about balance, right? So it's not like let's not play a drinking game at breakfast. You know what I mean? Let's if you're gonna have a liquid lunch, yeah, maybe a spritzer, right? Don't go overboard. You want to keep that in balance, not imbalance, in balance, right? To enjoy this day and play. Now, but wait, we might get a womp womp on here, so let's check. Breathe. Really, only one womp womp out of 4 so far. Let's see. Ascended Masters, please. Now, come on. The goddesses are talking Six of Flames. Bastet, the card of play, the Egyptian solar cat goddess. So what do you got for them? What's going on for them? The Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, my Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity for them this Monday, May 11th. All right. I get this. The problem card of self-consciousness. It's like, what is it? Dance like nobody's watching. Which, if you're at home alone, go for it. But, even then, it's like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Because which self is being conscious? The ego or the soul, right? The higher self. And again, the ego is not the enemy. It's the dormant, incubating part of the soul. That's why inner child work is so important to me in particular, because it's a way of me dealing with the ego where it's not being punished for being what it is. It's being given the love and the space and the time to awaken. And it's messy, right? So can you play today? Can you look at that self-consciousness and say, you know what? Life is what life is. And play can be all sorts of different things to different people, right? Particularly to a musician. It'd be very different, that card of play. But it's that balanced element of fire, the Six of Flames. Often, the Six of Wands is considered victory in most decks. There is a card, the Seven of Flames in this deck, victory. That's why I don't go there for this one. But that idea of that balanced, honorable, equitable, playful vibe, like maybe just play through the day, and if you feel, just keep your eye on that self-consciousness. That's that child inside of you. It's like, well, is it okay? Am I being weird? And we're Leos, right? I'm Leo rising. I get it. We want to look fabulous 24/7. I get it. But we're also fifth house pleasure. So you can be a little goofy. I'm a lot of goofy. People are like, oh, you know so much. You're so spiritual. I'm like, yeah, right. It's like, keep it in balance. Keep it sunny. Keep it funny. Keep it gay. Let's look at the Virgos. Oh, yay, Virgos. Here we go. Breathe, my brothers, sisters. Virgo power. Breathe. Oh, my goddesses, what you got for the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs today, this Monday, May 11th? We do work so hard. What do you got for us? Ooh, we got the Witch, the card of the Magician, the Witch. So definitely about decisions being made today, different than the card of the Lovers, different than any other tarot. This is about incarnating, making the decision to take our creativity and put it into form, right? Spirit, air, fire, water, earth, Cicero, Lipschitz. If you've been watching some of my other live streams and that are non-reading based, you get why that makes me laugh so much. Oh, musical theater PTSD, what can I tell you? Let's see. That so speaks for itself. Let's look at what's right, Ascended Masters. What is the Witch focusing on? Could be a problem, could be a piece of luck, could be a piece of healing, could be a piece of grace. So far, we've got problem cards and luck cards. Let's try something a little different, maybe. Crossing my fingers, crossing my toes, crossing my eyes. What you got for us, my Ascended Masters, for the Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs this Monday, May 11th, 2020. Oh, thank you. Giving oneself the healing suit card of giving oneself, which is certainly a Virgo thing. Every sign can do it, but nobody does it quite like the Virgos. Cross your legs. Look at the symbol. If you don't know what that means, cross your legs. Giving oneself, how lovely, but that it can be done in a very creative way. It can be done in a very spiritual way, but a decision has to be made to do it, right? It's like, give your all, give your best, give of yourself, but which self are you giving from, right? And can you give to yourself as well as of oneself? Giving oneself, it is a powerful card of service, but also remember, and this is just something I have had to learn the hard way, fill up your cup until it overflows and give of the overflow. The self-care part of it is just essential. Otherwise, you fall into the shadow of the caretaker, of the caregiver. And I would say, because it's giving oneself, make sure you're giving care to oneself. But also there is something about alignment here. I have learned that I'm mostly in alignment with the core and the truth and the spirit and the soul of who I am when I am relaxed. Right? So yes, we would love for everything to flow exactly the way we want it to, but what do you like when you don't get what you want? Can you give no matter what happens, even if it's a silent blessing? And that's the thing about the card of the Magician. It is a decision. It is a crossroads kind of dealio. But that to do it wisely and well do take practice. Do take practice and do take forgiveness, right? It's a learning curve. But that's a decision too. Can I give of my own compassion to myself as well as others? Libra. Breathe. Okie dokie pokey. Please, my goddesses, one card in clarity for the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What you got for them today, this Monday, May 11th, 2020. Ooh, Five of Pentacles, earthquake. Now, look, a lot of people don't like the Five of Pentacles because of, you know, the traditional way of seeing it, which is like in the cold, hobbling along. You don't see the light of the church or the temple right behind you, right? The sacred space. But this can be a rapid physical change. Now, just keep that in mind. Pro or con, positive or negative, things are changing, but earthquakes are fast, right? They don't take very long to play themselves out. And usually everything is changed, right? It's like an earthquake. I mean, if it's a tremor, that's lovely, I guess, right? Things rattle, but nothing breaks. Let's really get a card of clarity. Yes, if you were my private client, I would go, all right, let's go in on this one. Let's see how much detail I can get. It's a general read, right? So let's see here. My Ascended Masters, please, a piece of luck, a piece of grace, a piece of healing, or a piece of the problem. What's going on here? Because a shake-up in a problem might be a good thing. Maybe some karmic blessing rather than retribution here for the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Monday. Monday, May 11th, the problem card of expectations. It feels like your expectations are going to be shook. Now, I will tell you right now, everybody's got them. Really hard not to have them. I have learned to allow myself to have the expectation, to love the part of me that's doing that, to give it some time, give it some space, because, oh, they lead to disappointment, right? Expectations are the seeds of heartbreak, no question. However, it doesn't mean we're not going to have our expectations and that we're not going to get shook when we don't get what we expect. Now, however, if it is that you're expecting the worst and that gets shook up, well, then, like I said, that can be a good thing. So that's going to play itself out differently depending on who's watching this today. So rather what I would do is talk to that child inside. Might have a little mental conversation, a little emotional conversation, and see if is it that apprehension of expectation, or is it that, I'm expecting this to happen. That almost feels like hope, right? Try and move it towards hoping for the best. And how about this? Whatever happens, it's here to help me. It's going to make me grow. I may not like it. I may need that extra spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down, or it could turn out better than I expected. And may that be the case for you, my Libras, particularly because I am Venus in Libra. I will take that to mind and to heart. Scorpio. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs this Monday, May 11th. What you got for them? What you got for them, please? One card in one. No, those are two. One card in clarity for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs this Monday, May 11th, 2020. Oh, this one. Okay. Ooh, you've got the Aquarius card, Ixchel, the Eagle Woman. Now, what's interesting about that is I believe that Capricorn Saturn is in Aquarius and will be retrograding back to its home sign of Capricorn. So there's something about an egalitarian, Eagle Woman, something egalitarian. Look up the word humanitarian, seeing the larger picture. And of course, if you are in a relationship of in some way, shape, or form with an Aquarius, they may play a role, as well as it could be somebody who really embodies that 11th house vibration of humanitarianism, and your interactions with the world today on a larger scale might be involved groups, allies, that kind of thing, organizations, right? Like it can be tribal, but also that fixed air. See if you can use your Scorpio focus, because you are fixed water, Aquarius is fixed air, to see things from a higher, more stratospheric point of view, right? Perhaps a more compassionate, at least mentally, point of view. Ascended Masters, what do you got for them? The Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs this May. Yeah. Monday, May 11th, the card of heartbreak. So look, Hearts are breaking left, right, and center right now. You are an empath. Keep in mind that into each life, some disappointments must come, right? And heartbreak, the mantra for the Matt Kahn deck for heartbreak is my heart will love again. And look, I have endured plenty of heartbreaks in this life. And to quote from Carly Simon, there's more room in a broken heart. Coming around again, great song. But it's interesting to get that with that Aquarius card there. It might be, you might be having moments or maybe a big deal heartbreak today over what's going on in the world. It's hard not to be, look, there's social empathy and then there's intuitive, I almost said electric, boogie, yoogie, energetic empathy, where you are really feeling everybody's everything, the heartbreak. And like I just said, for the Libras there with expectations, expectations are the seeds of heartbreak, disappointment. Be gentle with yourself, be tender with yourself, cry when you need to cry, do it in a safe, healthy way. You're Scorpios, you don't have to do it in front of everybody. I always suggest to people, go grab a bath towel, big bath towel, go into the bathroom, sit in the tub, turn on the shower while you're sitting in the tub and let loose, right? Blow your nose right down the drain. If you can't do that, take that very same towel, go into a room and just cry your eyes out into it and blow your nose. Heartbreak is never easy, but the thing about heartbreak is that our heart gets bigger. And I know it's like, oh, it's so cliche, it's so saccharine, and Scorpios, that's not your deal. But I feel for you, and I love you, and I know what heartbreak feels like, but it's often because what? We had our heart set on something, and it fell and broke. Good to know for a Monday. And hey, if it's clearing the space, right, keep in mind, slow down. Slow your roll on this. Take the time to heal and to deal. Okay, we're going to move on to the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, please. My goddesses, what have you got for the Sagittarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for this Monday, May 11th, 2020? Well, good. Card of Temperance, right? Temper. Well, you know, people say temper, like temper means anger. It doesn't. Temper means a disciplined balance, to bring something into balance. If you temper eggs, if you temper steel, right? There's a process. It usually takes time, discipline, and some amount of force involved. For example, tempering eggs. I forget how I learned how to do it. But it's essentially with eggs, if eggs heat up too quickly, they scramble, they curdle, right? It's what scrambled eggs or curdled eggs, but nobody wants to eat a curdled egg, right? It's a scrambled egg. So if you're doing, if you're doing some kind of sauce where you want it velvety smooth, you have to add the heated liquid to it little by little by little as you stir it in, so that it slowly, gradually warms, right? Because you don't want raw eggs, but you don't want them curdled either. So a piece of temperance there, balance and discipline. And I have to say, Capricorn Moon, first day of Saturn retrograde, slow down, right? Take it slow, take it gentle. Temperance doesn't have to be a forced process. Like yoga, it's like you don't want to pull a muscle. Like, that's not the point of it. Like, I have to get myself into, that's not tempering. That's pushing it, right? Be gentle with yourself. Let's see what this is about from the Ascended Masters. Please, my AMs, one card in clarity. You like that, don't you? For the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What's their Chuck Spezzano love pack card? Houston, you've got a problem. Now, just the pieces aren't working today, or at least a piece of today there tends to be a problem with. This is a puzzle piece where the two pieces of the heart ain't coming together. So yeah, that could indicate an emotional problem, this being the Chuck Spezzano love pack. But certainly with that card of Temperance, it does suggest there is a solution there, but one that's going to take some time and discipline. And let's be clear, I love you, Sagittarius, so much, but discipline's not your thing, right? Tend to be a little impulsive. Now, by the way, you could have a planet in Capricorn, So that patience and that durability might be there as well. But you'll probably know when the problem happens today to be like, you know what? Let's take this slow, right? Let's slow the roll on here. There's a way to do this. We can balance this, but let's be a little bit more disciplined. Let's calm it down. Let's take it down a notch. And let's see what's that's the Saggy take on it, right? Is be like, well, let's see if we can get some inspiration. What's the better way to do this? What's the higher way to do this? What's the more gentle way to do this? Gentle is faster right now. That's the paradox. And I think that's going to be the message with this Saturn retrograde, is that slower is faster. That's the paradox of it. Slow your roll. It'll go faster, like healing, like rest. Oh, rest is so important right now, just for the nervous system to process all that's happening from day to day. Now let's do my Capricorns. Here you go. Let's find out what's going on for you, considering the moon is in Capricorn and your ruling planet is just going backwards in the sky till the end of September 29th. Here we go. My goddesses, please. One card in clarity for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What do you got for them this Monday? Yep, this Monday, May 11th. Please, one card in clarity. You got the card of the universe. It's one of those all's well that ends well kind of major arcana card. You're at the end of the cycle and the beginning of a new one. Although the beginning of the new one is the card of the Fool, technically the 0 in between the old and the new. But here you got a good day to wrap some stuff up, to get some closure, to get some completion for yourself. And I'm really loving that for you. It's Shakti, the life dancer. Look up the goddess Shakti. There's a lot around that word. I mean, yes, it's a goddess, but it's also an energy. It's very much a part of yoga. So you might want to look into the resilience that comes from that. And you guys are slow and steady wins the race. I do love a Capricorn. Like, I wouldn't mind marrying a Capricorn. I think Capricorn Sun. I don't know about a Capricorn Moon, but a Capricorn Sun, I think I could do that as a Virgo, because they'd be willing to work it out. Fiercely loyal, but not necessarily in that toxic way. Loyal to perhaps the larger thing that's worth putting time into. They're long haulers, and I like that. I'm a long hauler too, though I have no planets in Cap. Breathe. Let's see what's going on with the Ascended Masters here for you all. Please, my AMs. I know you like that. You like the abbreviation. I can feel that. One card in clarity. They're not all so stuffy, the Ascended Masters. I thought they would be. I'm sure there are some of them, but not the ones I work with. Of course, I probably get that particular contingent. The Ascended Masters of goofy and fun. Please, one card in clarity for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What is this about? I mean, no matter what happens, this is such a great card. Using. So, you know, there is a positive side of that in terms of use this opportunity, but, you know, is this an end of a cycle of using, of you being used, or you using something in a way that's not healthy? If you look at the card, it's a woman walking on people's heads, getting over, right? Shadow behavior there. Let that be done with. If it was something that you had to do in order to extricate yourself from toxicity, using toxicity to get out of toxicity is like using a poison to make an antitoxin, right? What's a vaccine? They take a piece of the thing that makes you ill and heals you with it. But this is, for me, almost always an all's well that ends well situation. So slow it down, right? Slow it down. Who are you being used? There's put an end to it. Are you using someone, something? You know, Terry Pratchett, you know, is my favorite author. Unfortunately, he crossed a few years ago in the book Carpe Jugulum, I say, seize the throat. This great line where Granny Weatherwax, my favorite character in any fiction ever, anywhere, she says that evil is seeing people as things. That's the beginning of it. That is the beginning, and that there's no gray. It's just white. That's got grubby, right? Thinking of people as things. That's where evil begins. People are people, and why should it be that you and I should get along so awfully? There is going to be someday, I'm sure, a drinking game with these videos where every time I put a song lyric into good conversations, you take a shot and you'll all be tanked really quickly. Breathe. Oh, my aqua lungs, my aquariums, please. My goddesses, one card in clarity for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What have you got for them this Monday, May 11th, 2020? Ooh, the Virgo card. Look at you. Service, occupation. What are you occupying yourself with today? And is it healthy? Is it healing? Occupation and health is really the ruling sixth house vibe there, right? So be in service, but be in service to yourself as well. Watch what you are occupied with. Occupying your mind with too much news, for example, can have a detrimental effect on your health. Make sure that you are staying grounded, right? Maybe do something for your body today. Maybe stretch a little, move a little. I mean, if you're already like working out all day long anyway, then bring that in a way to occupy yourself with something more for the mind or for the emotion. Because what you are occupied with, not just your job, people immediately think, oh, Virgo, occupation, what do I do for a living? How do I make my money? Maybe. But that certainly has an effect on the health as well. My Ascended Masters, please, can you clarify this for the Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign this May 11th, 2020? Sensuality. Now, sensuality doesn't immediately say sexuality. Sensuality is about the five senses, right? But with that Virgo card, to be occupied with your senses today could be a very wonderful thing to do. Like if you are at home, try something different. Try something different that allows you to indulge your senses in a healthy way. Occupy your senses with something that will improve your health. For instance, I do love a hot bath. I do love a massage. I like nobody come near me and touch me now, not until certain things are in place in this world. That's just how I roll. Virgo, cross your legs. So maybe do that. Look at your boundaries, right? Be very clear that what you occupy yourself with, what goes into the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the skin, all this skin, you know, that it's something beneficial to you. If you're going to occupy yourself with it, that it's going to be for the betterment of your health, which means you might have to do some screening. You just might have to. You know, that's what I love about being a Virgo. Let me think about it here, and let me think about it here. We're ruled by our intestines. Take a chapter out of the book of Virgo, just saying, and then return it. Oh, Pisces. Oh, my Pisces moon, my little mer baby inside of me. I feel you. I feel you. My Piscean soul child. Here we go. My goddesses, please. One card in clarity. You notice my voice totally changed. She's my little girl. My inner child Piscean girl. Please, oh my goddesses, one card in clarity for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please. What is a card for the Piscean collectives today, this Monday, May 11th, 2020? Ace of Cups, happiness, yay! Woo, 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 woo. Dab. She's having a good day, but it's an ace, right? It's like, how do we want to play that card? How do we want to put that into action? Do we want to ignore it? Do we want to tend it? Of course we want to tend it like a seed growing, an emotional seed of happiness. Take that cup and run with it. Let's have a good day, right? It need not be such a manic Monday. Wish it was Sunday. Drink. That's my fun day. Ascended Masters. Please, one card in clarity for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What you got for us? Please, here's your opportunity to do us Pisceans a favor. We are the empaths of the universe right now. Well, we always have been. So please, we've got the Ace of Cups, happiness. What is the Chuck Spezzano love pack card? Having a Tina Belcher moment. Rules. Well, it's not horrible. The rules and regulations to abide and obey. The rules and regulations. There was this great band in the 80s called Fuzzbox, Fuzzbox. Go check them out. They did a version of Spirit in the Sky, which is still, I think, my favorite over the original. Many different versions of that song, many covers. So rules. So yeah, of course. Oh, gee, there were rules that we have to live within. You know what those rules are. You know what those rules are. But remember, happiness is a decision that we must make. Look, there's all sorts of things my Piscean moon would love to be doing today. Oh, please, it would be so easy to do them if the world wasn't going through what it's going through right now. So the rules and the boundaries. Look, I'm a Virgo Sun, Pisces moon. I was born on a full moon, right? Complementary opposite there. So I'm well aware of the desires of not of my soul so much, but the desires of my emotions, right? The things that I would love to do just to satisfy and satiate my emotions, escape from my pain, swim away, little fishy. But no, not going to do that. I'm going to keep it within the boundaries, going to follow the rules. However, because this is a problem suit, it might be a good time to look at, well, what are the rules? Or a time for those rules to be perhaps revised. Nothing wrong. I mean, again, Capricorn, Moon in Capricorn, Saturn retrograde, it might be a time to relook at some of the boundaries and the rules that we have, that maybe we have outgrown them. Like, here are two people who are trying to get together, but it's like, okay, well, first of all, put down the toilet seat, which I just think is courtesy, right? People don't fall in. It's just lovely, you know. But sometimes some of these rules can really get in the way of our own happiness. So keep that in mind. Alrighty. Now, this is what I like to do at the end if you are new to this, just to give you a quick review. So in case you jumped in later, that's if you're watching this live. Oh, no, all right, this one isn't live. You probably would be watching this from the beginning. The Aries has the Two of Blades analysis with play. The Taurus, you've got the card of Justice, Ma'at, with romance. For the Geminis, you've got the Gemini card, the Maiden of Blades, the Knight of Swords, with lust. She looked at me with lust. You've got the Cancerians here with the card of reversal, the Hanged Man, with enjoyment. Hang out, really. Hang out, enjoy it, see it differently. For the Leos, really so on the nose, you've got Bastet, the Egyptian solar cat goddess, the Six of Flames, the Six of Wands, with self-consciousness. Don't worry about how you look. Dance like no one's watching. For the Virgos, we've got the Witch with giving oneself. And remember, Witch is a job title as well. We are in service. Just make sure that we're in alignment and going with the flow as we go. For the Libras, earthquake of expectations, which again might be a wonderful thing, but you won't know what to expect. So I would suggest the mantra is whatever. What is the mantra for that? The highest possibilities come to be whether I envision them or not. Matt Kahn's healing mantra deck. For the Scorpio, you've got Aquarius with heartbreak, so maybe keep an eye on your expectations as well. And if you are empathing the world's heartbreak right now, make sure the self-care is there. Go have a good cry. Love yourself, love what arises. For the Sagittarians, again, you've got this card of problem, but with temperance, that this temperance might take the lead here and might take some time to balance this out, all this Capricornian Saturn stuff going on. For the Capricorns, really, we've got Shakti, the life dancer, the card of the universe, the world, lovely card, but with using. So, you know, there are so many ways to interpret that, but then I'm going to say, are you being used? Today it should end. Or if you are using someone or something in a way that is toxic, today it should end. Really, Saturn retrograde to put an end to it. For the Aquariums, my Aquariuses, you've got the Virgo card with sensuality. So perhaps some self-service there, or service to oneself, what you occupy yourself with, what you put into your senses, what you expose your senses to, are going to influence your health. And for the Pisceans, we've got happiness, lovely card, but with rules, you know, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's not. It's going to play itself out differently for every little different fish in the sea, but apparently there are plenty of them. So keep an eye on your rules, that they don't truncate your joy, but at the same time that you're being wise about it. So that's what I see for you, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this day. Again, please, if you have not yet, subscribe to my channel. Click that like button so other people can see the video. And feel free to comment and hit that notification bell. Cool, cool. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of this Monday, May 11th. But for now, my darlings, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.